So, hello everybody, and welcome to a new session of Dyson's Sphere program. Going green is today's motto, which means that I'm going to do my best to produce my first green science matrices, but I'm not sure if that's going to be successful or not. The two major topics for today are, like I already said here, these wonderful thingies, and apart from that, I want to check out the whole topic of gas giant mining, because I really feel like I need. I really do need. So, one of the first things that we're going to do now should be the somewhat automated production of orbital collectors. It is a real pain in the bum, because it's a pretty big thing to be produced, and is that not connected? And it requires parts of my logistical or parts of the which I don't really like to spend. So interstellar what are they called again? Logistic stations are part of the recipe, and that really bothers me a bit. Especially since this is all fully spaghettified here, so we won't have an easy time fitting in things, but there's always a way of making things work. So, let's see. We'll require those thingies. Do I have the super magnetic rings somewhere already? Yes, I do. They go this way. So we got super magnetic rings, got reinforced thrusters, if I remember correctly. These are hanging out somewhere here, exactly. So that stuff's available for us as well. And accumulators, exactly. So I'm still a little bit weirded out by the fact that the recipe states that it needs full accumulators, however that's supposed to work. And, well, accumulators. Those ring things, and will require crystal silicon. Well, crystal silicon. Do I even use that stuff anywhere in my wall yet? I don't think so. I think this is a completely foreign material to my wall. Yep, there it is. So there's really a couple of challenges connected to that. So, let's see. We don't have any access to silicon anywhere here in the vicinity, but silicon is actually the only material that's missing to produce what I need to produce here. So we're just going to get ourselves some silicon here and manufacture what we need. A small-scale production of these little things is all I want. I really don't want to go too big here. Not at all. This is all a case and design study. So we got that, and we're going to set up crystal silicon. I'm going to require not too much of that. This is made in smelters. So let's make 4 smelters or something like that. And while I'm doing that, I want to do a little bit of a notification thing here. So if you missed out this stream and you want to catch it live the next time, there's links in the description box. Twitter and Discord are my places where I announce everything, so just get yourself tuned in and you won't miss any. The other option would be to subscribe and do the bell thing, so YouTube does the notification thing for you. And there is also a link to the playlist, so if you want to catch up on missed episodes, that's also in the description box. And last but not least, there's also links for supporting me. There's PayPal, Patreon, and buy me a coffee if you prefer to go that way. And I'd be really delighted if you check them out. As a full-time content creator, free content creator, I can really use all the help that I can get. So enough of that, let's get back into that. I'll be running a handful of these guys, and I'd say 4 of them will be totally enough. We don't need much. We just want to have a low amount of production there, so we can get our gas collectors going, because I have that feeling as if we're going to require a mass production of these guys. This, as far as I've seen things, gas giants should be the easiest way of acquiring deuterium in a meaningful amount. I'm done with the rookie numbers, you know. I really don't want to fiddle around with those anymore. Okay, but before we can continue now, let's go for the accumulators. We need iron ingots, we need supermagnetic rings, and we need that crystal stuff. So supermagnetic rings are somewhere around here. Is there some splitter attached or anything which we could use? Let's check that out. This looks very splittery to me. Yep. So there's only one exit of that splitter still available. Where's iron though? Is that iron? No, that's titanium. I want to call it mithril for some odd reason. That's the fantasy gamer breaking through. No, it's of course not mithril. Forget about me. So yeah, this is a great spot here. We're going to fit in a nice little splitter here, so I can split off the iron ingots I need. Perfect, isn't it? So we're able to just pick up these guys. So supermagnetic rings, iron ingots, and silicon. Since this is going to be a bit of a larger thing, let's see how we'll do that. The worst part about all that is that we're requiring interstellar logistics stations for that whole procedure. That means we either transport them via belt to a new facility which leads to a mass production of these facilities in a scale that's just outright unnecessary, or we go for the small new logistics carriers. I feel like this would be a real good opportunity to try them out. But I think I'm going to go old school and just belt it, you know. But first off, let's see, where will I produce those accumulators? I think here is a good spot after all. So here we see spaghetti, a spaghetti factory in its later stages. This is something that I really, that's a lot of reallys, I know. Don't want to happen ever again. Like I'm always very unhappy when things like these come together, mostly because it feels extremely untidy to build like that, and apart from that, it also makes everything unnecessarily complicated, you know. It's much better if you have everything already lined up, but, you know, you also have to understand everything already well enough to make that happen. You know what they say, hindsight is 20/20. So, it's looking good, though. We're going to go and grab our iron plates right here. Let's see. Looks like we got to go even higher than that. Jeez. Oh, geez Louise. That's pretty rough. So we're going to go like there, and that's what I said. That's spaghetti, you know? Mamma mia. So it's so spaghettified that I have troubles in having a long enough route to put that stuff back onto the ground again. But it's okay. Let's not be too unhappy about that. It's the materials I need to build accumulators with, and that's all that matters, if you ask me. So we're going to set that up like that. And there goes this weirdness. Let's slap it down here. Gosh, I hate what I build here. I'm usually not that critical towards my buildings, but this is really seriously crossing a line for me. But, you know, I'm at that point where I would need to reform such huge parts of my entire factory to make that look more tidy and more orderly. So I'm really not down, you know. I'm really not down. So we got the accumulators we need. Wonderful. So thrusters, magnetic rings, and interplanetary logistics stations. So here's the thrusters. That's the ones we need. That's the magnetic rings. So it would be absolutely no problem to just slap in another splitter here. Let's do a 4-directional one. It's the easiest way of... Ah, it's the wrong format. Didn't mean that to take that one. Meant to take the very basic one. There we go. So here we can now output those guys there. And, well, let's see. Those thrusters, they are a little bit of a more troublesome candidate here, but I think... There we go, you know, those slim splitters are really, really awesome. I love them. I really love them. So we connect it like that, and we reconnect it like that. Yay! Better energy circuits! No more trouble once when we're going to warp around. So, there we go. We're going to have... We have a connector here. Let's take this one. So I got that connected. I got that in the vicinity. I got that product. What am I missing again? These guys, aren't we? So there is a really, really high chance of me being able to set up an assembler right next to this thing. Awesome. So that'll eliminate all the issues that I had. Let's do this. I'll put up an orbital collector thingy. Before I do so, the very important thing is the question, do I have enough interstellar logistics stations? Because there might be a bit of a shortage in the future now. So, there goes that. Let's start connecting. Gosh, this will be one of the messiest builds that I've ever made. So, here we go. 2 of 4 ingredients. So, it'll be a little bit more problematic here, because I can't connect to that. God have mercy on my soul. So, there we go. Look at that. The worst part is, I don't know how the hell I'm going to output these guys, but one thing at a time. So here we go. And last but not least, we're going to require the accumulators. So we can pipe them in there. Jesus, what am I doing? I really didn't think that it would be like that. But on the other hand, I am quite proud of myself. I mean, this looks pretty crappy, I admit. But, you know, at the end of the day, I managed now to produce these guys, didn't I? So, yeah, as a matter of fact, it doesn't work because these accumulators need to be full. Alright, so... It was no bug in the tooltip. Okay, so how are we going to fill those guys? I mean, this is nothing that I could do automatically. I mean, that's kind of a relief and also kind of a terrible thing at the same time, because that means all the gas collectors, there's no way of automating their production for real. Because as far as I see things, now my job is going to be to slap down these suckers until they are filled, power storage, and then pack it up and give it to that machine. That's, let's see if that's going to be how it works. Crazy. Nevertheless, I'm really happy that I that I do this craziness to me, to myself, however you want to put it, because this way I am able to prepare this madness. Because obviously we do require a couple of build accumulators. Okay, things I do that I didn't that I didn't quite expect. So we got now a bit of a accumulator farm, don't we? So let's see. And yeah. This one is now depleted, so... Alright. Probably you can only pick them up if they're completely charged. We'll see about that. I have literally no experience with these guys, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing here. Good. So, once the next tech will pop, we're going to be able to transport goods interstellar. So, the next big step that I want to go towards to is the production of gravity matrices. So, for one, we're going to require Graviton lenses. Graviton lenses will be, well, how to put it. For Graviton lenses, we're going to require a lot of work to... So let's see, we are going to require 1 unit of strange matter per second. That'll require 10 units of deuterium per second. Yuck. Really hard to pull off. Really, really hard to pull off. At my moment, at the very moment, that is. So I'm really curious to see how this will work out. The long story short is we're going to be unable to produce Graviton lenses in the desired amount, but that's okay. We're going to start small. The other thing that we're requiring here are quantum chips. So we need 1 quantum chip per second, and that's basically the first thing that I want to set up here today, because I feel like that's kind of like quite easy to do, and we're going to get through that. So we require plane filters for that. So with plane filters, we dive into the realm of madness. So let's see. I'll require how many plane filters? 2 per second even. Yum. So 2 plane filters per second require us a production of 2 Casimir crystals per second. Believe me, this is harder than it sounds. And 2 units of titanium glass per second. Times 2. 4. 4 units of titanium glass per second. Let's start with that, because I personally feel like this might be one of the easiest things to achieve there. So 4 units of titanium glass per sec. It requires water, glass, and titanium. I see no good reason not to scale that thing up, because I foresee a requirement of these items anyway, so let's do this. We're going to make the titanium glass definitely on this planet, because here we have a surplus of water, and water, I really don't feel like making water or importing water from other worlds. No, thank you. This is a bit too much. So let's see. No, oil refineries. Where are the water collectors again? Where is the water collector? I think that's the water collector machine, yeah. No. I got all the stuff that I require, I hope, and let's check out where we're going to build. This whole planet is getting more and more convoluted, and it's being harder and harder to find sites where we can set up small factories at. Luckily, there's still a lot of territory to be claimed by foundations, so I have still hope when it comes down to the expansion, but let's grab some foundation while we're at it, you know. Okay, It's going to be the typical, the classical scheme. We're going to set up a logistics station, and around it, the entire infrastructure will be emerging. So I'm going to go interstellar because I want to be able to transport the titanium glass anywhere it's needed. So let's make that foundation a tad bit larger. I mean, the good news here is we basically got all we need already prepared for this production there. The Casimir crystals will be a lot more problematic, but I think I'll require the logistics carriers for that. Okay. So, next step. Give this beautiful machinery some power. Now let's see if I can now rip out a charged up accumulator. Yes, I am impatient, I know. Happens to the best of us. So, here we go. Accumulator. Full. So, a full accumulator is something else. Alright. Gosh. So that means we're going to... Well, I got a new pastime sport, I guess. Packing up empty accumulators to be charged. So, gotta say, I'm absolutely not a big fan. Usually, I really don't. I really like what the people do about this game, but that feels pretty sucky. Why? Because it really, it's just tedious. You know, it's just tedious, and it's very, very hard to automate that because you, or I wouldn't know how to automate that. You know. I mean, luckily, we only require so and so many, well, I don't need to put power grids down. These guys are power grid. We luckily only require so and so many of these. But seriously, this, everything I cannot automate in games like these bothers me. And if it's something that, literally gives you benefits if you would be able to automate it. You know, why exactly should I be not able to mass produce gas collectors like anything else? That's a decision I cannot understand as of yet, but maybe I will be able to understand it later. We'll see about that. What I do understand already is that we really, really got to crank up the numbers here. I need more accumulators. I want to fill as many of the batteries as possible there. Because gas giants are really important. But that means to me that also for future productions or future bases, I don't see any too big urge to automate gas collectors in a meaningful way, because if I am forced to manually input one ingredient, I might as well manually input all the other ingredients as well. It really doesn't add in too much tedium here after that. So we want to get titanium glass. We're local and remote supplier, correct. I need glass, so I have a local demand. Let's see, we're going to pack up like 2,000 of that, and remote demand. I really got no clue how much glass we produce, but I'm pretty sure not enough. So, titanium ingot, we're going to pack up a capacity of 2,000 here too. Local demand and remote demand. We're going to receive most of these from outside, I guess. So, logistics vessels, to make sure that this place here is also autonomous. Well, I don't want to put 100 of these guys in there. That sounds like overkill. And as much as I do appreciate some overkill, not here. Okay. So let's check it out. I want to start with a production of 6 of these guys. How about that? What's it going to be needed for? Only plane filters as far as I can see. So, well, yeah, production of 6 of those per second should be totally fine. Alrighty, that means we're going to require the triple amount of what we see there. So 6 units of glass per second, 6 titanium ingots per second, but most importantly, 6 units of water per second. So let's extract that first, because that's the first thing we gotta do. So 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. And here I just do a direct connection. So that's going to be 6 units of water per second. Easily expandable if necessary. Or when necessary, I should rather say. Good. So water's there, that's there, so we only need to set up the schematic for the rest of that. So titanium glass is a 5-second has a 5-second production length, so that means 5 assemblers will produce 2 per second. To achieve 6, we need 15 assemblers. Easy. So all these materials are not too demanding belt-wise. I am going to put them on tier 2 belts nevertheless, just as a precaution, because I do think that this facility might be upgraded in the future, capacity-wise, and I already want to have everything prepared to make things happen smoothly then, you know? There we go. So... again, we're not going to work on the vertical axis. I strongly recommend everybody to work on the horizontal axis, because this is always more friendly to manage in terms of planetary curvature. You can, of course, play alongside the planetary curves, but it's just tedious. That's my personal experience with that whole topic. It just adds tedium. That's that. So we're going to go this way, and that pipes it back in. Easy. That's the easy part. But altogether, well, the better prepared you are, the easier the whole factory building will look like and feel like. The worse you're prepared, the opposite. So basically, if things look bad or feel tedious or annoying, maybe it's a good idea to step back a couple of go back a couple of steps in your production chains and check on out where you could make things work more smoothly. Which shortages could you iron out before proceeding and such? There we go. So that's now 7 plus 5 makes 12. And as soon as I want to expand that, I'm just going to clap that in exactly the same build on the opposite side, and we're going to be good there. So we have 12 machines so far. We require 15 in total, like I said. So let's expand that a little bit. Facilities grow larger and larger, as you see here. We're expanding our business more and more. So that should be enough for 3 more assemblers. Nope. Ah, perfect. Exactly. Just exactly right. Okay. Ah, yeah, here. It's one of the best things that somebody told me here in this series, that assemblers have room in between 4 Tesla towers. The more you know. I have no clue. Good. So we got titanium glass now. 6 units per second. Not the best, not the worst. Let's keep going. So for where is it? Plane filters, we require the titanium glass, but we also require Casimir crystals. Let's go bonkers. So for the required amount of what? I said we need 2 Casimir crystals per second, right? Right. I regret what I said already. So that means we're going to need 12 units of hydrogen per second. And 4 units of graphene per second, we already got that. And 2 units of titanium crystals per second. These titanium crystals, we're unable to produce them as of yet, because the facility that will give us the organic crystals ain't running yet. We're teching that out. Let's see. This tech is going to be done in 11 more minutes, so we got a decent time frame here. Good. So let's do the other preparations for that. So hydrogen and graphene are products that I have already here on the belt, and we can easily just use what we already got there. That's pretty exciting and makes me very, very happy. So let's go for another interplanetary state or interstellar station. I'm using the planetary stations less and less here because they're just well. No, stop it. Lie back home. Oof, okay, I'll never do that again. I underestimated that they just copy these settings entirely. Okay, so Casimir crystals, that's the export route. We're going to require hydrogen. That's what we're going to demand. And we're going to require graphene. I'll be stacking that up in smaller amounts. There we go. And I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah. So here the tricky part will come in. So we got to see one of these machines is going to require an input of 3 hydrogen per second. Every machine requires 3 hydrogen per second. Only so we can have a consumption of 12 with 4 machines, of course. So 3 units of throughput per second, that's quite a lot. So that also means we're going to require specific belts for this one. Oh, this is going to be exciting. So, well, we're going to run Mark III conveyors for the hydrogen, and let's see. I think I'm going to run this way. Ah, yeah, now I know what I missed. We, of course, need titanium crystals as well. So these guys are the products we ain't got yet. So, will we produce the titanium crystals on site or not? That's the interesting question. It'll require us to import 2 more products. Do I have the room for that? Yes, I do. Well, why not? This at least gives me something to do until I'm done with the rest of that. So, let's go. And here goes the same. Lower amount of ammo for these suckers here. Sorry about the voice. I'm getting better though. Oh, let's go. Here's the fleet of hydrogen carriers. I mean, the plus side is I finally got something to spend all that hydrogen on. I'd say that's something really, really good there. Oh, I got to configure that one. Ooh, so, hydrogen. Now, we will require how many crystals for this facility? Just 2 crystals per second, that's all. That's pretty low scale production, just like I thought. That's why I'm okay with producing that stuff on site. If it would be a major effort to put up, I would be considering differently, but we're going to need 8 machines and 6 plates, so that's going to be super easy. Okay, so organic crystals. Remote demand. The moment we got this tech, there should be a carrier starting towards here with the stuff on board. We'll see about that, though. So let's pretend as if I'd had what I need, though. So here goes the titanium plate. I should go for this way, yeah. And here goes the organic crystal, then. And then we're going to need 8 assemblers. Well, it's going to be a little bit of a longer assembly here, but that's okay, I'd say. So I'm going to go for tier 1 belts down. And we're going to... whatever. We're going to go down this way. So that's the titanium crystals then. Really excited to see whether or not I set up everything correctly. My worst fear is that I've failed somewhere down the road. 6 in total, 2 more. That I failed somewhere down the road and it won't work. Out of whatever reason that is. That would be really, really nasty. So, 2 more. Hey, Andres, welcome. Happy to see you. Didn't miss you there. Well, 3 minutes, that's okay. Somehow today didn't really see the chat that much. So here there's no room in between those assemblers. What the heck? I thought they always fit in between. Whatever. So here we see that without no organic crystals, no production, but that's okay. So we got that, and okay. Well, it's a good thing that we aren't connected yet. So we're going to require graphene. Just realized that I did a bit of a messy thing there, but that's okay. Going to work nevertheless. So graphene and the titanium crystals. Wonderful. Good. So that's going to be transformed into Casimir crystals. We only need 8 assemblers for that, but the really important thing is the assemblers have to face the belt that's, or have to be close to the hydrogen belt, because otherwise we'll have a real throughput problem. So output goes then this way, back into the base. So I think the Teslas didn't fit in between because we're here at a pretty nasty spot of planetary curvature there. So let's see, a Mark II grabber is grabbing 3 per trip, so we're good. Let's see, does the recipe have any other strains? So no, we only have 0.5 of graphene and 0.25 of the other stuff, so things are quite tame. We only had 1 outbreak of neediness here. Alright. So, I think that will be too short for 8 assemblers. No? on spot. And here's the same issue. I have now set up everything according to plan, but you know, we miss some materials, but that's going to be no biggie in a moment. So until then, let's see what has become out of my accumulator project. Look how purple they all are. That means they're full. And now we need to holding shift. I don't I hold shift. It doesn't chain dismantle at all. Okay, that's really... It can't... Oh, come on. Seriously? No. Okay, that sucks. If there's any way of producing full accumulators less stupid, I'd be down. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. I'd be really, really happy, because I cannot imagine that this is how it's supposed to be, you know? I have a hard time believing that. I don't want to believe that. So we're going to slap in the accumulators here. And orbital, not orbitals, you know, gas collectors. Hooray! Hey, Pixel, welcome. Ah, the most complicated part is finally over. I already have found some method to put into this madness, so don't worry, it's all going to be good. So, yay, gas collectors or orbital collectors. Looking forward to installing them, but one thing at a time. What I do want to do here is I want to be around when the next tech is researched. Alright, so if you have any questions, Andrews, feel free to ask away, you know? I gladly answer. That's generally a thing in my streams. But if you are still on the verge, whether you want to buy the game or not, it's doubly my pleasure. Because I'm a total fan here, you know? It's one of my favorite factory games that's not finished yet. Or I won't even go so far to say my favorite factory game these days. It's slowly kicking Factorio from its throne for me, but mostly because of its quality of life and its accessibility compared to Factorio. Factorio still has way more options and way more variety in itself as a platform. So here I'm now slapping down all these accumulators because I want to be able to build more orbital gas collectors. And for some reason, the recipe requires filled batteries. I disapprove this decision so hard, because I feel like that's a pretty stupid notion. But whatever. Whatever. It is as it is. I have a method to get the job done. And obviously the devs want us to bottleneck the production of gas collectors. They obviously want to make it as hot as possible. But I don't really get why. Maybe I will do in a moment. So now I'm super excited. The moment this technology will go live, my logistics vessels will be allowed to warp. I have set up an outpost in another solar system that mines and transports organic crystals for me. I really don't know if I have prepared everything accordingly. Best case scenario, the ships will start and warp towards me. Worst case scenario, the warp fuel didn't properly get accepted and I need to fly over and cram it in manually. Because there was no function to put in warp fuel in the first place. But yay! Look at that! They're being transported! Triumph! Alright, we're safe. The problem there is now that warping requires fuel. So... Ah, great. Yeah, well, I am working on new tutorial series as well. There has been a bit of silence for a while on my side. That's because I needed a break from all the tutorializing, and besides that, I didn't know what to do a tutorial for lately. Sounds weird, maybe, but it is as it is. There were not too many games, and/or my knowledge wasn't there where I wanted it to be. Quite honest with you there. Alright, let's slam in the graphene, and so happy. It works. All the preparations were not for naught. So, good. That means here they come. That also means that we're going to be... Well, I think that's going to be the only delivery of these before I fly my ship over there and distribute warpers over to the other side of the galaxy. But it's a kickstart for our Casimir crystal production, and that is all I needed. Good. So, let's see. Where to next? We got the materials so far. We got the processors for the quantum chips. Done that a while ago. And next thing, plane filters. Plane filters are now just a plug-and-play thing. We got the materials together. I just need to set up a little facility that will laser the things together. The thing that's really bothersome here, though, is 12 seconds per production cycle. That means to achieve the amount of plane filters that we require, a meager amount of 4 per second, we're going to need only 48 assemblers. Nothing more. That's more than I have already. So, yeah. Also, I need, obviously, somewhere where I can slap down all these suckers. Ugh. Alright. I love the scope of this game. I really do. It keeps surprising me time after time with new gigantic numbers and showing me that I'm still in the realm of rookie numbers. It's always nice to have a game that shows you that it has way more scope than you could possibly handle in the first place, if that makes any sense. For me, there's nothing worse than shallow games that I'm done with in a very, very short amount of time. I mean, that's also possibly because I'm just a gaming nerd and well, I've developed quite the appetite, but, well, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. You get my idea. So here we got the proliferator production. And here we also have now spiciform stalagmite crystals that we can process into carbon nanotubes, but that's another day's story. So, let's see. There aren't too many places anymore where you could slap down a huge amount of assemblers that easily. But I think here, this area down here will suffice. Let's go. Those ships, those are my logistics carriers. They transport different goods from one place to another. These towers that you see here are, well, they are like bus stations for those ships. I tell them what kind of stuff is supposed to be transported back and forth, and the ships do automatically what I configured there. I'm going to set up one of these towers, and then you can have a closer look at it, Andrews. So here, I'm going to destroy all that beautiful water. I feel like such a monster, making this planet ugly as hell. But that, it is as it is, you know. There we go. So that should be, hopefully, enough for the plane filter production. Backup plan. Build a star cluster with an energy storage capacity of 27 gigajoule or more. Yay! That's all the batteries that I put up, you know. So, interstellar logistics station. We're going to make this here. So, the goal of this thing is going to be to produce plane filters. So it's the supplier. Here I tell the station to accept these items and distribute it to everybody who needs them. That's why I have supply. Local means on this planet, remote means in the galaxy. You play on multiple worlds at the same time, multiple solar systems to be exact. I'm going to show you something in a second once I've set up things here. So, we require Casimir crystals, and we require titanium glass. These are the pre-products that we fetched up for the process here. Luckily, we already are done with these things. So here, now I tell the station that we need that, so I put it on local demand. And if everything works out correctly, there should be ships flying around and bringing me that stuff. I don't know why the Casimir crystals aren't being transported yet. They should be. It should look like just the same as here, but it doesn't. We're going to check on out why. So, put in ammo, drones, ships that can transport stuff. And, yeah. So, we got all the stuff online that we got there, that we need there. Let's power that thing up. Everything, all those drones are energy driven. Oh, look at that. They're looking nice. Accumulators. So, yeah, I obviously forgot to set up output arms for that. Whoopsie. Yeah, so that's also a way of not getting any Casimir crystals onto the system. There we go. So now they, as you see here, now they get transported away. Good. Oh, I like how this looks like. But this is also, when they are full, they turn purple. Good. And now we get the materials in that we need, as you see there. Fine. So, off to the more troublesome part. Let's check out the recipe here. So, plane filters. I want to create 4 per second of these, don't I? Yes, yes. So, we will require for that 4 per second, we require 48 assemblers. We require also quadruple the amount of materials that we see there, so 4 crystals per second and 8 units of glass per second. So that means for the glass, I'll require a tier 2 belt, because tier 1 belts would be not able to transport that much per second. And for the other stuff, we can use the cheap tier 1 belts. Here we go. And now I have to set that up accordingly. The only way of not going nuts here will be to work here double-sided. There it goes. And so, plane filters. The technology they're using in these games, by the way, is well, how to put it, sci-fi material. But as far as I know, getting energy out of Casimir crystals and the stuff will not be possible for any human generations anytime too soon. I don't know if any of you out there are familiar with the concept of vacuum power. It's basically the idea that vacuum contains extractable energy. But even if we would be able to produce a perfect vacuum, which is way harder than it sounds, we would be needing to put in way more energy than we could possibly ever extract out of that. Or at least that's what I know about the topic. So, let's start configuring these. We're going to require a string up like that. And this time I do remind myself that I need output. Okay, so I bet that this won't be enough for 24 assemblers. So we're going to expand right away. I could imagine that we're starting to be on a realistic length here, slowly. So that thing has to go. Be replaced with a bridge. Oh, wait a sec. Different belts have been used. Alright. Well, let's see. So that's a total of 15. And... No! So 15 plus 7 is 22. It still ain't long enough. We need 2 more. This is such a nightmarishly huge manufacturing stream. I hate it when things grow that large. So here, that's now finally 24. Almost, yeah. The big challenge is to know how long you have to go without going wrong. Or for me, it's insanely satisfying when I manage to get the job done without being wrong. And you see here, the first of these suckers are being made here already. And now we do the same thing on that side here. Oh, for just 4 of these things per second. Painfully. Painfully. Okay. But at least, that's larger than I've ever been when I played Dyson Sphere program, so don't want to sound like we're doing a bad job here. Quite the opposite is the case. This is, I personally find it extremely cool when the assembly streets grow that huge. Things are finally working out on a grander scale. So I ran out of Tesla towers. What a bummer. Luckily, I can make more. Gotta stock up in the mall. Alright. So let's see. Everything here is configured correctly. Wonderful. So it's only a matter of time until we will run out of products here, but that doesn't matter. The entire production scale, or the entire production scheme that I'm putting up here is all meant to produce the fuel we need for bringing in more of a material, so it'll all be fine in a moment. Let's see. Are you guys finished charging? No, partially. So, well, bothers me, but it takes as long as it takes. Goodo. Let's fill our pockets with stuff that we're going to need. I'll pack up Teslas. And let's see. I'm somewhat tempted to, yeah, we do that. Let's string up another layer of solar panels, because I really feel like this factory needs it. We will be able to import power via Dyson Sphere once we are building the Dyson Sphere, but until we are building the Dyson Sphere, we cannot generate power more effectively than that. I mean, sure, it ain't that true. There are options. There are several options that you could go, but I personally feel like a massive solar belt is one of the most easy early game solutions for your power problematics. Alright, so we got plane filters. Now we only need to whip up the quantum chips, and I think then we're ready to go for green cubes, man. Ah, well, not quite. No, we're not. Yes, we need to put up the Graviton lenses still. No. Ugh. There's always something. Just when you think you're done with the pain, more pain comes. But I am quite happy with the progress so far. Especially the fact that my interstellar logistics with the warpers and all did work. That made me super happy. Go. And that's where you can spend quite a lot of foundation, as you might have already noticed. But at the same time, we really do need that. I totally do admit that I do this first and foremostly to speed up the charging time of my accumulators there, so I can set up the orbital collectors faster, because I really feel like this is going to be an extremely important part of the of our next steps, because I need deuterium, and I need really, 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 really large amounts of deuterium. Seriously, we require, if I saw that correctly, like 20 deuterium per second or something like that. Really crazy amounts, so... Therefore, I'll need a lot of orbital collector stations, and therefore I'll need a lot of power to collect to pack up batteries. By the way, I do know that I'm totally entombing the oil deposit there, but if I ever want to extract it, I'll just rip out the solar panels and we're good to go. You can't always erase buildings without any punishment in this game, so you don't need to worry about stuff like that. If you want to extract minerals later, you just do so, you know. Okay. So. Hooray! We get there. So, well... I'll leave the rest here open because I don't want to stress myself too much out. Because we already basically circled the planet one more time. So we're at a steady production of 250 now. That's okay. It's a bit underwhelming there. Hey, Paperboy, welcome. It's a bit underwhelming at the first glance, but it'll get the job done. I hope that I won't need to go wider than that. So technology is also pretty done. All right, so these guys are now full, and I really would love to be able to chain dismantle these. It would be so cool if you just hold down Shift to pack them up. I have a hard time believing that this is for here area select. So let's see. All right, that's a tool that we can at least use. All right, that's better. Ain't really ideal, but better. So build up accumulators, go down to the factory, and yeah. Quantum chips. That's going to be the next thing. There we go. So, I already got 150 orbital collectors. Wonderful. And let's do that just one more time. And I find that unnecessarily tedious, you know? I got so many other things that I could spend my time on, and it feels extremely unpleasant now to need to string up so many batteries just for the sake of gas collector production. I don't know. It's so untypical for a DSP, but, well, early access, you know. Wouldn't be too surprised if this will get revised in the future. Or at least I hope so, because this is really unpleasant. I'd very much prefer something else there, because this is just, yeah. Killing your incentive to ever do more than the utmost necessary amount of these orbital collectors, in my opinion at least. Good-o! We got that. So these batteries will fill up, and then we can reap the rewards later. Oh yeah, speaking about reaping the rewards, I want to grab myself some foundation, and then it's time for the quantum chip facility. There we go. So, we're going to need... So why did I produce 4 plane filters per second? Or... No, I'm producing just 2 plane filters per second. No, I'm producing 4. Right? Well, just a precautionary measure, I guess. So we could actually produce 2 quantum chips per second. Tell you what, we're going to do that, because there's always a good... I always like to have more than I need right now, you know? So, let's see. I want to keep this space between these 2 towers free, because I know that these might be expanded sometime later. Here, we are going to make our carbon nanotube production happen in the future. So, I think this place here might be a great spot to start my new business at. I mean, alternatively, we could manufacture the quantum chips off-world. Yeah, tell you what, we're going to do that. So, as you see here, this is the solar system that I'm working with, and I also have a outpost at the 67 Persei system. All these dots that you see here are planetary systems that you can travel to, explore, and exploit. And that's what I personally find massive about this game. The scope is just massive. I mean, at the end of the day, most players will only build 1 Dyson sphere. You build that around the sun, right next to me. But technically, you could plaster the place with Dyson spheres. You don't really have anything from that. The game only counts your strongest Dyson sphere to begin with. But, you know... I'm just introducing things here. So, I like the idea of producing the quantum chips on a different planet there, because my Mediterranean planet is already pretty busy, you know. Alright, so let's set this up. We're going to require a interstellar logistics station yet again. Oh. We wire it up. There we go. And now we're going to set up quantum chips, local supply, remote supply. Exactly. We're going to require processors, so local demand. We got plenty of processors on this planet. I'm practically this is practically the home of my entire processor production here, so we're fine in that regard. Oh, hey, Alpha Dash, welcome. And plane filters. So we're going to import all the plane filters from off-world over to this planet here. And you see now they get transported over here. I do transport all the plane filters over here out of a simple reason. we obviously don't need any somewhere else. But for now, well, I do feel better with a lower stockpile. At the end of the day, who knows? Maybe a new need will show up. Goodo. Quantum chips. So, I got enough production to make double the amount of these guys happen, and that's what we're going to do. So 12 assemblers will work for us and produce 2 quantum chips per second. Easy enough. There's really nothing special to that entire procedure here. We just have to rack them up and, well, yeah, we're going to work two-sided here, so it's going to be even easier. So, I think I made that way too long there. If we were double-sided, that is, but we'll see about that. So, quantum chip. Input. And there we go. And output in that direction. Pretty sure that this is way larger than I needed right now, but who cares? I can small it down if I want to. Yeah, well, not that insanely too large. Actually. So, that's all. All that preparation, you know, all that preparation I did the entire hour here was just to weld these things together. I didn't prepare anything else so far this entire episode, except for the gas, the gas assembler thingies. But that's how cruel this game gets in the later stages, you know. Goodo. So we got now only not enough Graviton lenses for the rest of the production, but that's going to be the next challenge there. And that's going to be also the very, very first time for me that I'm going to be able to produce green science cubes on a meaningful scale. I'm super excited about that. I mean, technically, I got enough quantum chips to make 2 green science cubes per second, which will be eventually, yeah, well, science will be its own topic later, because we right now have not too much science production going. As you see here, my research is really slow. Hey, Math Gamer, welcome. Yeah, you're a tad bit late, sadly. Always a pleasure to see you. Hope you're feeling fine, man. So, do you ever play Space Engineers? I tried to get into it, but I bumped away from it. I do own it. The first learning experience was really not a pleasant experience for me at all, and well, that's how I stopped playing at the end. So, I also noticed that my oil tanks are full again, so dang it. I hate it when that happens. Alright. Make this like that. There we go. Oh, I can add up more onto the tower. Yay! So we're a bit better in terms of production there. But all these things will stop soon. Good. Now then, let's see what happened to the extractors. Also, before I do any of that, let's check out the other part here. So we are producing a very, very minuscule amount of strange matter canisters. So strange matter is being made out of particle containers, deuterium, and let's see, particle containers. Did I set up a larger scale production of these suckers sometime before, or is it still just what's on the belt here? Yeah, it's just what's on the belt here. So, okay, to get this straight, we will have to put up a entirely new branch of technology here to make that happen. Before I will make that happen, though, I will do something else, something quite crazy and revolutionary. I'm just going to pack up another planetary interstellar station here. Let's see. We're going to make that happen. More like here. I mean, this is the rookie lab, okay? Don't judge. This is just the rookie lab. We're here working with small numbers and all, but it's working, and that's all that counts. But what I plan to do now is a little bit more witty. So we're going to set up a here, so one more interstellar logistics station there. And we're going to import ourselves here the quantum chips remote demand. So let's see. Oh boy, I think I messed up somehow. There should be a transport of those quantum chips towards here, but it ain't. Okay, we'll have to check out what's wrong there later. Pretty sure that I have brought up the necessary ships and all, but I must have forgotten something. Well, anyhow, we're going to do this. So we're going to require graviton lenses. One graviton lens per second. One graviton lens per second is made in 6 assemblers. Alright, easy enough. So we're going to request energetic graphite here. And let's see, graviton lenses needed strange matter. Yeah, strange matter. That's going to be something we put totally on demand here. Of course, not gonna happen anytime too soon, but it will make sense. You started episode 3 of my streams, or what you're talking about there? Alright, so we require what? For one of these, we require 4 diamonds per second. For 4 diamonds per second, we require 8 smelters. Got it. That's the easy part. So let's see. Well, I don't want to go that... Yeah, never mind. Both directions are a little bit convoluted, I guess. Yeah, it's I can't wait to build a new base with access to the logistics distributors. I am not using them anymore, or I'm not using them at all in this run, because I feel like this run has developed itself so past that I don't want to start with an antiquated logistics system now, if you get my idea. Like, doesn't really feel like a good idea to me. So we're going to make ourselves diamonds here. Alright, that's the 4 diamonds we require. And we're going to put that on a belt here. Just like that. easy. Yeah, here we cannot get any in between. Alright, so diamonds. Got it. Then Graviton lenses are made in 6 assemblers. So we go down this way again. And yet again, this is a very, very basic and simple setup that will not last through the later stages of the game, you know. But for starters, I do like it. So we're going to make Graviton lenses here, and the output of the lenses will run this way. Alright. So there's going to be another belt for the other thingies, so let's at least pull up the belt here for the strange matter, is it? It's the strange matter that we require for Graviton lenses, right? Yeah, strange matter and diamonds. Right. Good. So at least this allows me to wire everything up accordingly. Here we go. So let's copy that. And now I basically got my own private Graviton lens factory, where all I need to do is to toss in the strange matter that I got, and they'll spit out Graviton lenses for me. So we got more carrying capacity on the logistics vessels. Very important. So get so much more out of each single warper, you know. So let's see. These techs now we can go for endlessly. These are extremely valuable technologies where I'm really considering to, well, let's go right away for that one. The more I got of these, the better. Alright. Yeah, well, I'm not happy about the spaghetti face in the early game, and I'm really, really looking forward to iron out these things. That's also one reason why I wanted to rework my tutorial series, because I'm very, very unhappy with the amount of complicatedness that I got there. Okay, so enough about me yapping there. There is still the problem that we don't get the quantum chips, so let's get there and see what happened to them. And what you see here is also a insanely sped up thing. Traveling between planets was once, a while ago, a very, very cumbersome thing, which always took me way longer than less a minute. With fidgeting around whether or not my my fuel cells were correct and whatnot. So there's a really huge sense of progression there. So what the hell happened to my processors? Why are you not working as intended? So here's my processor factory. So here. Quantum processors. Local supply, remote supply. The hell? Why? So I don't quite understand. Configuration-wise, we're okay. We got the vessels. We've got the quantum chips inside there, so let's see. Thank you, Math Gamer. Appreciate it. What's Order 66? Tell me. So what the hell has happened? Did I order the wrong stuff? That would be also a answer to that problem. But technically I didn't see anything wrong there. That bothers me the most.
Order 66 Star Wars reference.
Oh, that's why I don't get it. Spaghetti did nothing wrong.
Kill a Jedi or something.
Well, good thing that let's not talk about Star Wars. People wouldn't like me talking about Star Wars. Nobody wants Icon to talk about Star Wars. So, quantum chips, local demand, remote demand. So, that doesn't make any bloody sense. It should work. Like, really, I don't get it. Everything is wired up according to plan. That really confuses me now. Oh, is it because the walkers are required? If the maximum transport distance is exceeded, no. How? Alright, so that's now freaking me out a bit, because I really don't understand what's going wrong there and why. Huh. So... why are there wrong items in the box here in the first place? Okay. So, well... that's odd. Let's pick up the orbital collector so we can have some fun along the way. And the next thing that I want to do is I want to fly back to that place and grab them manually if anything else fails, you know. But let me double check. Is that not coming together? Oh. So, quantum chip, local supply, local demand, remote demand. There's really nothing obviously wrong with that. On neither side. It's bothering me a bit. But at least I will just pick up those thingies and carry them back home now. But that's no permanent solution, you know. We will need something more sophisticated than that. Oh, let's see. You have them going from system to system. It's all in the same solar system. They don't travel between. So, quantum chip. Local supply, remote supply. So that should actually work, you know. Let's remind them of their job by turning this off. So it doesn't really make any sense whatsoever, to be quite honest with you folks. I don't see any reason why it doesn't work here. So let's try turning it off and on again. Oopsie. So, can I drop that stuff in there? So, I really don't get it. Like, do I miss something obvious? It's the trains of cities coming back now. That's actually the very first time that something like that happens to me. It also looks quite buggy to me, honestly. It's set up to supply everything from outside, but it doesn't. Carrying capacity of these is 500. Let's see, maybe the minimum load of the drones was the problem? No. Ah, minimum load of vessels. There. That's the reason. The minimum load of these vessels was configured too high, so they were unable to pick up the stuff in one go. Like I said, there had to be a reason. That's why it happened. So let's set up shop at that gas giant. I really want to know what happens there. Loop-de-doo. The first time. And with the Victorio trains, I got my plans too. I've seen a lot of my mistakes from the last time, and I have some ideas how to avert that in the future. So, somebody told me that I have to drop the accumulators, or the collectors, on the equatorial belt of the gas giant. And once all that's set up and done, we're going to head on back to the other planet, or the other system, and give everybody warpers, you know. So, sail mode ends. Alright, so that's that. Game, why are you kicking me off the gas giant now? Okay. Luckily, this ain't the least little bit uncomfortable. Yuck. So if I press space now to speed myself up, I'll be lifting off the gas giant immediately. And then I'm not able to see the equatorial lines anymore. Oh well. So, let's see. Local storage, remote supply. Alright. So, I really wonder if this is the same thing. Does anybody know, do these guys stop producing if I am not depleting their hydrogen? Like, does the production stop if the hydrogen slot is full? Or do they keep producing deuterium even if the hydrogen is full? Please send help. Okay, so beyond that, I do realize that we're able to clap up a lot of these guys there. But I mean, I will need a lot of these guys as well, because technically I don't see any good reason why I shouldn't fill the entire equatorial belt there, because I need the materials quite badly. Well, we'll see about that, Math Gamer. We'll see about that. I only know that what are they called again? The oil drills, they don't work anymore if one of their output slots is full. So build 10 orbital collectors. Yeah. Goodo. So every one of these guys brings me 12.35 deuterium per minute. That ain't much. Don't get fooled by those numbers. It's really not too much. So we get 0.03 deuterium per second out of these. So the 12 of them that we got there are bringing 0.3 deuterium per second. 0.36 deuterium per second. Yuck. Jeez, that's such a low number. Because, you know, that's such a low number because I'm going to show you how much deuterium we're going to need per second in a moment. So, particle colliders will be a necessary evil for a pretty long time. So, we will require a whopping amount of 10 deuterium per second if we ever want to be able to produce 1 strange matter per second. 10 deuterium per second. I just managed to bring up a lousy amount of 0.36 deuterium per second with all the effort that I took there. You could set a limit on the hydrogen to see if the other's still being made. That's a good idea. Since I have to, or since I want to set up even more of these suckers, we're going to have a nice chance to try that out. Alright, so that's quite troublesome, isn't it? But the obvious good news is I got everything it requires to make me green science cubes at this point. I mean, yes, the production isn't ideal. It's full of problems. We're not able to produce the amount that we want to, but you know, we gotta start somewhere, no? So let's hop on back to this place. And let's see. I want to make green cubes. There we go. So here's the finally the quantum chips. So I'll take that this way. Or do I? Wait a sec. So quantum, these guys here, I'll need 12 labs per. Oh god. Okay, never mind. So we're going to make an improvised little setup here where, well, that's at least 2, 4, 6, and 8 labs on top of each other. Well, start, I guess. So here we go. And don't judge my belting here. I know it sucks. Go. Cannon build here. But I mean, at least it is a semi-automated production there. I still need to toss in the strange matter manually, but at least it churns out green science cubes, you know? And now for the last step. I don't know if this is possible, but I'll try. So, Whopper. Can I... Gravity Matrix! I mean, let's have a look at these green suckers here for a moment and bask in the glory of its radioactivity. So, can all buildings be stacked on top of each other? No, they can't. There's only, this is exclusive to a couple of buildings. Labs, storage facilities, I think that's the only two types of materials that I know of that are capable of doing this. Though I cannot set up warpers as a distributable material. Oh crap. Okay, that splitters stacked? Today I learned. Okay, I had no clue. So, oh, that bothers me a bit. I cannot distribute. Oh, here. Oh, okay. Never mind what I said. So, we're able to produce warpers now, and well, not quite sure how I want to do it, but let's make it probably something like that. The thing here is warpers are ideally made out of green science cubes, and for now, none of these green science cubes will be allowed to be used for actual science. We're going to transform them all into warpers, because one cube yields 8 warpers. We make our production go 8 times as large with that. And this is why this is so freaking important to do this, you know? So we're going to set this up like that. And I do sincerely hope that this will get me to the point where I'll be able to set up a bit of a warper economy, so we get to distribute the warpers inside my entire system. It's a bit weird that we're using our science cubes now first and foremostly for the production of warpers, but it is as it is, and it's really not the worst. Alright, so here goes. Warp fuel, mass produced. Goodo! So I'll cut it here. I think that's a great spot to end at. There is still a lot of stuff to be done. Next time I want to get myself into the neighboring system and set up the automated input of the warp fuel. So what I set up here, this is basically a gas station for interdimensional or intergalactic travel. We're producing here the fuel, and we're distributing the fuel to the other places as well. That's the plan, at least. So I thank you all for watching. It's been a blast. Leave me a comment down below. A thumbs up would be appreciated, or subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you missed the stream, check out the description box. There's Twitter, there's Discord, where I announce all the things before they happen. You can also just do the bell thing after your subscription, and YouTube will do the notifications for you. There is also a link to the playlist if you want to catch up with the rest of what has happened here. That's your opportunity. And last but not least, there's Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee, where you can go crazy and show your dedication and support to me if you want to. I'd be delighted if you check them out. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you guys hopefully on the next one. Bye bye!